3 key takeaways from this video so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. 1, I believe that marine salt works far better than standard rock salt. It's got all sorts of goodies in it. It really helps increase your hatch. Heat is important. If you don't have a heat source, if you're not hatching in a fish room, or you don't have a heater, you're going to need to work out a way of putting some heat into them because they need to be a bit warmer to be able to hatch. And getting a decent brine shrimp egg itself is really, really important. There's lots available. They're definitely not all as good as each of them. Some are good, some are absolute junk. The ones we've got have been a process of elimination and eliminating the ones that just don't work to a decent quality egg that hatches really well, and keep them in the freezer and keep them sealed for the best longevity, which is going to improve your hatch rate. Now, on to the video. We're constantly being asked how we have really successful hatches of our brine shrimp, so I thought we'd just go through it. It's a very quick and simple process, so this should not take too long. To start with, we exclusively use this brine shrimp blender. It's a very, very simple piece of kit to use. So it's the first piece of equipment that we use. We also use marine salt exclusively. This is an Aqua 1 marine salt. So 2 tablespoons of this. Just like that, goes directly into our blender. Pretty simple so far. You then fill the blender up with tap water. You put the water in after the salt because I find that the salt just dissolves a little bit better doing it this way as opposed to putting the salt into the water. Fill it up to about there. Easy. And as you can see there, it's dissolved quite nicely just straight away from that. Time for the next step. Brine shrimp eggs out of the freezer. We store all of our brine shrimp eggs in the freezer, keeps them fresh for longer, ensures a far better hatch. We just used a pretty simple Greek yogurt container. Easy as. We go through 6 to 8 teaspoons, just goes directly into the water. Nothing too drastic here. We've sampled nearly every single brine shrimp available in New Zealand, minus a couple. This is the one that we get the best hatch out of, and I've lost count because I've been talking. We'll call that the right amount. This is one that we get the best hatch rate from. Unfortunately, I can't buy it in smaller quantities. I can only buy it in big bags, and we're unable to sell it as a big bag. So far, so simple. There we go. We then take our hatchery, take it for a wee walk, hang it on this handy dandy hook setup we've got, just like that. Double check the spout's closed, which it is. Put the lid with the heater on inside it, like so, and then we let it go. Come back in 24 hours and it'll be done. You can leave it longer than that. 48 hours is fine. 2.5 days is beginning to push it with the amount of eggs that we use, but 2 days is absolutely fine. We'll set one up on a Saturday, come in on Monday, it's no dramas. Bubbling away, easy as. We'll come back tomorrow, show you the result. So we are about 24 hours later. I now flick on my light, getting it as low as I possibly can. Take the lid with the heater off, which is proving quite difficult with one hand. I'm sorry. And then I let it sit for some time. You can see here the shells and the actual brine shrimp are already beginning to separate. But I normally leave it for about half an hour, a little bit longer. And when I come back, there'll be a whole pile of brine shrimp. And all these eggs and casings will be at the top. So about half an hour in, we can see here that all of the goodies are now at the bottom, wiggling around. A few egg casings left in there, but not too bad. And then all the eggs, the outer shells and whatnot are up top. Now we release the kraken in through here and feed it out. Simple as turning on the nozzle. And hopefully I've got everything lined up, which I do. So conveniently, all the good stuff goes out first. we can see there. Gravity does its thing, drains it out. This elevator music has been brought to you by the Fish Room. We are glad that you're enjoying this video that we are giving you, and we hope that this helps you with your fish keeping journey. This video is brought to you by the Fish Room. We hope you're enjoying it, and we hope that it helps you with your fish keeping journey. And right about here, it's going to go, well, that's about enough. We'll just wait for it to crank a little bit more through there. I want to get as much as I physically possibly can. Sometimes I do a tilt and shake just to change the angle a little bit. Sometimes it likes it, sometimes it doesn't. And because I'm using my phone in my other hand, I'll just block it off with my thumb, pick it up, take it for a walk, whoom, down the drain it goes. We're then left with all this good stuff. Top it up with a bit of fresh water, fill it up just so it goes a little bit further, and we're done. The golden goodness, the sticky icky gets fed out just like that. I normally use one little container like this per tank. Sometimes it goes over 2 tanks. And then I go, that's not enough, and I put some more in there. So some of the key takeaways. Decent brine shrimp eggs. It's taken a while for me to work out which ones are good, which ones aren't. We don't stock any of the ones we generally get from wholesale. We don't actually stock any brine shrimp eggs because the ones that I do get, I can't resell. Keep your eggs in the freezer. Keep them as sealed as possible. It will give you a way better hatch rate for a way longer time. The heat source is important. I know we didn't talk about it on the video. We've got a heater in these ones. In the summertime, it's not too big of a deal. In a fish room, it's not too big of a deal. But if you're not heating in a fish room or in the summertime, a heat source is really, really important. Simple solutions with salt when it comes to these ones. I think that the marine salt, the coral salts are far better than your standard rock salt. There's all sorts of goodies in there that really help the hatch rate improve. If you're struggling with a hatch rate, again, we didn't talk about this on the video, a little baking soda into your tap water can help buffer the water a little bit to a hardness that the brine shrimp need. Pretty simple to hatch. They're great food for fry and for prepping up fish. That's what we do. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please feel free to subscribe. If you've got any other questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. You can fire away in the comment section below. Other than that, have a good one, happy fish keeping, and catch you all later.